صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. صدق الله العظيم. Now recite a naat, inshallah. We should all close our eyes and imagine that we are in front of the Rawda Mubarak, the presence of the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ishq-e Nabi mere dil mein bhi sama jana, ishq-e Nabi mere dil سما جانا, مجھ کو بھی محمد کا دیوانہ بنا جانا, مجھ کو بھی محمد کا دیوانہ بنا جانا. وہ رنگ کے جامی پر رومی پہ چڑھایا تھا, وہ رنگ کے جامی پر رومی پہ چڑھایا تھا. اس رنگ کی کچھ رنگت مجھ پہ بھی چڑھا جانا, اس رنگ کی کچھ رنگت مجھ پہ بھی چڑھا جانا. اے عشق نبی میرے دل میں بھی سما جانا. جس خواب میں ہو جائے دیدار نبی حاصل, جس خواب میں ہو جائے دیدار نبی حاصل, اے عشق مجھے کبھی نیند ایسی سلا جانا. اے عشق نبی میرے دل میں بھی سما جانا, مجھ کو بھی محمد کا دیوانہ بنا جانا, مجھ کو بھی محمد کا دیوانہ بنا جانا.
الحمد لله Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen, wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een, amma ba'd. Fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala an-nabi, ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Mawlana Muhammadin wa barik wa sallim wa salli alayhi. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulullah, assalamu alayka ya Nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin. All praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Peace and salutations upon the beloved Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This month of Ramadan has ended and it's been a week and we are getting tempted from every direction, and we will be, because we are in this world as a test. It's a testing ground for us. The time for enjoyment is in the hereafter, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inshallah puts everybody in Jannah, and then you will enjoy yourself forever in a place where complete and utter enjoyment. You don't sleep, you eat for enjoyment. People eat today, they eat because they're hungry, but in Jannah you'll eat for enjoyment. And then there'll be many things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless you with. So in this world, we have to be patient. And not only we have to be patient, we have to learn knowledge. What kind of knowledge? Knowledge that you can understand where the Shaitaan is attacking you from. Knowledge that you understand that if the Shaitaan attacks you from this side, how to overcome this problem. So this is very important knowledge. We learn, we go to school, colleges, universities, we study for years, get a master's degree, and we carry on. And even if you become a doctor, a friend of mine is a doctor, and even is become a doctor, after that he still has to say exams. So his never ends, his continuous knowledge. So for us as well, we have to learn this continuous knowledge of which direction the Shaitaan is going to attack us from, especially in the month of Ramadan. What were we refraining from? The month in Ramadan, mostly we were refraining from sin. So outside of Ramadan, we have to do the same thing again. So then our latter days, our days outside of Ramadan will become like Ramadan. Why? Because you're refraining from sin in the month of Ramadan, and outside of the month of Ramadan you refrain from sin again. So can you see the resemblance, the inside Ramadan and outside of Ramadan? It's all related to sin. So there's a lot of things which the Prophet ﷺ has told us can ruin our life in this world and the hereafter, which is sin. We think that refraining from sin is a burden, isn't it? Like we enjoy the sin, I mean, nobody's going to put their hands on, oh no, I don't enjoy the sin. People enjoy sin, that's why they commit the sin. It's simple, isn't it? You enjoy it, you commit it. Yeah? You like eating that food, you eat it. You're not going to eat a food that you dislike eating, would you? You'll eat the food that you like and you say, okay, this is tasty, I'm going to have it again. Yeah? Same way, people enjoy sin and they like committing sin, and that's why they do it. But it can ruin a person's life. And this is what we're going to learn today, that the sin, the effects of the sin, how does the Shaitaan work, how does he entice people into committing the sin as well. So refraining from sin is not a burden. Yeah? Because when you close the door of sin, Rather, it's a blessing, that you have done. You're closing the door for yourself to be ruined. That's what you're doing. So when you close that door to the sin, think of it as a blessing, not a burden. For example, if somebody give you poison, so somebody says, here, have this poison, eat it. Would you eat this poison? You wouldn't, would you? You would say, no, brother, if I eat this poison, I'm going to be killed. So you won't touch the poison. Simple. But because we don't know the damage of the sin that we commit, we don't know the effects of it, what we do is we take the poison of sin and we drink it and we eat it without realizing, and then afterwards we realize, what have we done? Sin ruins families, ruins relationships, and many, many other things it ruins. So, same way, the person who's drinking poison, he will ruin his body, but the person committing sin will ruin his soul. So he's damaging his soul now because of the sins that he's committing. So he might look, oh yeah, brother, I enjoyed the, it was really good, man. We went out, we had a good time, we had a party. Yeah, brother, have you tried cocaine? Yeah, it's really good, man. You get that buzz for 5 minutes. It's brilliant. That's the thing, isn't it? That buzz, everybody's looking for that buzz for 10 minutes, half an hour. Oh, brother, we need to have a good time. Yeah, brother, let's do the halal way. Let's go out for a meal and chill out and just have a chat. Brother, that's boring. What kind of enjoyment is that? It's boring. I don't want to do that. We want to do something else. If you look at the fitness industry, it's worth. Anybody guess how much is the fitness industry worth? I guess. Go on.
20 billion.
How much?
20 billion. No, 200 billion.
200 million? Billion. It's a bit too much, isn't it? Anybody else? You might want to get into this after you hear the statistics. You might think, what, I might get into the fitness industry. You're not that far off, but it is, double the figures. So it's worth $96 billion. $96 billion, the fitness industry. You can Google it, check it yourself. $96 billion. Yeah, so what do people do? When they're in the fitness, when you want to exercise, what do? You refrain from the bad food. Yeah, isn't it? Because if you do exercise, without your diet being clean, you'll never lose nothing. Trust me, I know, because I've been through that journey myself. Was running for the marathon in 2019, and I was training, doing a lot of miles on the road and everything, and I was eating, but my diet wasn't clean. So when I stood on the scales, rather than losing weight, I gained 2 pounds. Rather than losing weight, I gained 2 pounds, and that you're talking like, every other day running like 15, 20 miles for training. And I gained 2 pounds. I couldn't believe it. What is going on here? But then I got in touch with somebody, and he made it clear, look, you need to clean your diet. If you don't clean your diet, you're never going to lose weight. A lot of people are making this mistake time and time again. But I went to the gym today, I did a lot of exercise, I lifted weights, I ran, I jogged, everything, but I'm not losing anything, nothing's happening to my body. Well, you're not going to see any changes on your body because you're still eating them burgers and chips while you're exercising. So but the point here is the refrainment, where you're refraining. And this is the way of the awliya, the friends of Allah. That even the halal things, they would refrain from this. They'd be very, very careful. For example, they're walking on the street, they'd lower their gazes. They wouldn't look here and there like we do everywhere like this. They would lower their gazes to make sure that nothing just comes in their way, not women walking past. Not just lowering your gazes from the women, but imagine, for example, I know a person, right? He used to live in a small house, and he was happy, he was contented, everything, he had a happy life. And then he found a job, in an affluent area, in a good area where the houses were nice, beautiful houses. He's walking past every day looking, oh yeah, that's beautiful, that house. Oh yeah, that's a mansion, that's beautiful. So he's like looking. And then slowly, every day he's going to work, he's looking. Suddenly that desire comes in his heart. You know what, I want this house. Now, he was contented in that small house. Now he's not contented, he wants a bigger house. And now he's going to do anything he can possible to go for the bigger house. Whether it's halal or haram, no, I want that house. And where did it start from? From not lowering his gaze. Not lowering his gaze, thinking, or when you see a phone, because we browse, don't we? Human nature, let's browse on Argos, let's browse on Amazon, let's browse on eBay. And oh yeah, I want something, oh yeah. You've got a phone, you're contented, and suddenly a new advertisement comes out and says, oh, this is the latest Samsung or the iPhone. Then your phone doesn't look nice, does it? Your phone, you want more. So the Awliya Ikram, what they would do is they would refrain, they would know beforehand that this is the problem, and they would lower their gazes, or they would make sure that they don't fall into any traps of the Shaitaan. So like we said at the beginning, knowledge of the sin itself. And then you say, oh, I want to learn this knowledge. Where can I learn this knowledge from? The knowledge is right in front of you in the course of purification. Everything is written out for you. All you have to do is learn what is a sin and then take and cross. Simple. Very, very easy. What is the mercy of the Prophet ﷺ? We hear all the time that the Prophet ﷺ is called Rahmatul lil Alameen, mercy to every creation. We hear this all the time, don't we? Yeah? So the mercy of the Prophet ﷺ is when he stops you from doing anything, this is called Rahmah. So when the Prophet ﷺ stops you from doing something, it's called Rahmah. This is the mercy of the Prophet ﷺ. And when he tells us to do something, this is rahmah as well. So what does the Prophet ﷺ tell us to do? Refrain from sin, which is a blessing, which is a rahmah. And when the Prophet ﷺ tells us, do this, say your prayers, listen to Allah subhanahu, refrain from this sin, do this, that's a rahmah as well. So you learn what is the rahmah of the Prophet ﷺ. Now, the sin, what is it like? For example, imagine somebody is going fishing. Who likes fishing here? Who's been fishing here? Has anybody been fishing? Raise your hand. Oh, he's been fishing, mashallah. He probably got a little game, toy, and he's playing with the fish, mashallah. So imagine, a fishing line, and they put bread or whatever they put at the end of it, and they put it into the water, into the river to catch some fish, or into the sea. The fish is inside, they don't know that this is a trap. This is a trap. So the big fish says to the little fish, don't go there, otherwise you'll fall into the trap. But the little fish, I know everything, you know what I mean? I know, you don't know anything. And this is the situation today. The perfect situation where the elders or somebody knowledgeable is telling you not to do this. Or you're telling your sons not to do this. Or what do they say? Oh, my dad's old school, he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know, he's backwards. He doesn't know the time and the situation. He doesn't understand my mindset. He doesn't understand anything about me. Or my father is like, we used to say the same thing. I used to say the same thing myself. But then later on, when you make that mistake, then you realize, oh my God, I should have listened to my father. It's only when you learn the hard way, then you realize that I should have refrained from this. But they make it easy for you. And this is what the mashaykhs do. They make it easy for you. The friends of Allah, they make it easy for you. Don't do this. Now I tell you, many a times, yeah, people are stuck in a relationship. They want to get married to this particular girl. The girl wants to get married to this particular boy. But they know that the parents are never going to agree. They know the parents never. And there was this case, actually, and I was dealing with this case, that they were dating and they wanted to get married. But the daughter, the girl was from a different background, different culture altogether. And the parents took her abroad, and on the guy's birthday, she got married. She got married on the guy's birthday. Imagine that. Imagine the heartache he must have gone through. But what do the mashayikh tell us? Refrain from this so you don't have to go through that heartache later on. Refrain from this so you don't have to go through that problem later on. But what do? We don't listen. We don't listen. We say we want to do it our way. And then what happens? Like the little fish, you get caught into the traps of the Shaitaan. And then now the Shaitaan, he ruins your life. Completely ruins your life. So get reeled in. Now Shaitaan's got he's got his noose, and he's got it around your neck, and he's pulling you in this direction, that direction, playing with your feelings, and you just following everywhere. So when we fulfill our unlawful desires, it has an effect on our faith, ruining it. You know, when people say, I don't feel like praying. Why don't you feel like praying? Because you don't feel like praying because the inroads to the sin has darkened our heart. And when our heart gets darkened, yeah, that's when you don't feel like praying. Simple. It's simple. If you want to know why you find it difficult to pray, this is the reason. Now, for you, simple. Refrain from sin and watch after a couple of weeks. You'll get that encouragement in your heart. You'll get that motivation. You'll get that desire to come back to the masjid. You'll want to pray. You'll want to pray. Sometimes the mashayikh mentioned that the Iman can get lost as well. Sometimes it can go weak. The effects of the sin, the Iman can get lost. Or it can go weak. Or your good deeds can get ruined. None of us are prophets, Islam. We're all human beings and we are going to commit sin. You know, every time we'll do it, we'll fall into the trap. But the main thing is to get back up. Get back up and do tawbah and seek help from somebody. There's brothers here who can help you, who can guide you, can motivate you, who can mentor you. You know, and you just have to be honest with them and they'll help you along the way. Because nobody's going to look down on you because everybody's going through the same thing or everybody's gone through the same thing. You're telling me that any human being apart from Prophet Islam has not committed a sin. They would have done some time or another. And that's the one Allah SWT has protected them to a very high level. So the plan of the Shaitaan is to sugarcoat the sins. So he sugarcoats. But we only see the sugar part of it, like the sweet. They put loads of sugar on it. Like, you know, have you ever tried that chewing gum? Yeah. It looks good. The package looks good. You open it up, you put it in your mouth. It's very, very tasty. Yeah. And within a minute, all the taste is gone. And then now there's a bitter taste into this chewing gum. Yeah. I've tried that as well. He says normally it's like when your kids bring it home or your little brothers and sisters bring the chewing gum. Yeah, within a minute all the taste is gone. And the sins are like that. You know, you'll taste it. Oh yeah, it feels good. Yeah, and then it'll be bitter. Yeah. So one of the mashayikhs mentioned that there is enjoyment and pleasure in sin. There is. You know, without shadow of doubt, there is enjoyment and pleasure, and people will commit sin because of this. But there will be no peace of mind. You won't find that peace of mind. You know, you look for it. That's why you see celebrities, many people, they got what? They have money, they have everything. They have everything. But they still commit suicide. Yeah? commit suicide. They got everything. Why? Because they're looking for that peace, and the peace isn't there. You know, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran that peace is in His remembrance. The peace that everybody is looking for, yeah, is in His remembrance. And today I filled out this questionnaire, and in this questionnaire it was asking me, what are your stress levels? You know what I mean? People are stressed. Now that they're even putting it on the questionnaire, why are you stressed? I went for cupping actually just before I came here. But in the questionnaire, they're even asking me, what are your stress levels? Because they know everybody's stressed, all everywhere they're stressed. Why? Because they're further away from Allah. The more further you're away from Allah, the more stressed you'll become. The more closer you become to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more you obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more you do good deeds, the more the stress levels will drop as well. So this is, people use exercise, which is a good form of stress relief, but it's only short term, and it comes back. So this is why a person who commits sin will never find peace. Whatever little peace he has will turn into distress. So even he's got that little peace that he had, he'll turn into distress because of the sins he's committing. And then hardship. You know, we always say, oh, the zikr is too hard. You know, it's too hard to do this. Yeah. But let me tell you something, just a wordly example so you understand. So for example, when you go to the gym, yeah, say you run that punch bag, or you're doing HIIT cardio, and you're proper sweating, you know, and you're running around, yeah, thinking, yeah, I want to lose a bit of weight here. What happens after you've done this workout? What do you feel? Yeah, go on, brother.
You get a release of endorphins and you feel really good.
You feel really good, isn't it? Yeah, mashallah. After that exercise, you'll feel calm, relaxed, and you'll feel really good. You'll feel on top of the world. Like it's like a natural drug. You'll feel this. Same way, when a person, when he pushes himself to do something, yeah, he strives to do something like in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So for example, he doesn't feel like doing his zikr, he doesn't feel like praying, but he pushes himself, and what will happen? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him peace. Because you're doing it for Allah. Imagine running, yeah, and exercising. Allah, you're getting this peace. But imagine if you're doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how much peace would the person get? Yes, that little bit of hardship is there, but you have to push yourself. And if you want to be motivated, then try refrain from sin as much as you can, and the motivation will come. So, like for example, drugs. A person will take drugs, yeah. At the beginning he'll enjoy it, and then he'll be restless, he'll have no peace. And like medicine, when a person takes medicine, it won't taste good, but illness will become better. So I hope Allah you understood. So just a quick summary: sin is a poison, yeah, so refrain from sin like poison. So second, there is no peace in sin. Yeah? So remember that, always remember that. If you're not getting peace and sukoon in your heart, yeah, remember that there is no peace in sin. Third thing we mentioned was, be aware of the temptations of the shaitan. Don't just willy-nilly look everywhere, here, there, everywhere, you know. Main thing is the phone. Yeah? Phone is crazy, man, honestly. You know, it tempts everybody and anybody. It's like a drug. Every 2 seconds you go, yeah. Every little message that comes, he picks it up. Yeah, let me have a look. Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, yeah, everything. One to the other, like this, one after the other. So he's not contented with just Facebook. Yeah, right, okay, let's see what's happening on Snapchat or Instagram. Yeah, okay, TikTok. Okay, Twitter, let's go back to Facebook. Okay, something new's come along. So spend hours and hours and hours watching movies. Yeah, you're just watching, okay, let me watch some, like, you know, Rambo. Yeah, we used to watch Rambo in my day, Rambo. Yeah. So for example, you're just watching movies, yeah, and suddenly, you know, something pops up. Yeah, something pops up, a woman pops up, and instead of like refraining your eyes, lowering your eyes, oh yeah, it's all right, so yeah, I'm only watching a movie, it's okay. But why every time you're looking, what's happening is the darkness is entering, and it becomes so dark. And now, that's why people watch movies for 10 hours. Yeah, it's easy. Can you do 10 hours of dhikr? Can you remember Allah for 10? You can't. But for 10 hours of watching movies is very, very easy. So it's very, very important that, you know, a person refrains from this. And the last thing we mentioned was hardship equals peace. Hardship equals the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then you're going to enjoy the rest of your life, inshallah, in paradise. Imagine, yeah, we have desires, isn't it? Everybody has desires. Yeah, we have one thing, we want the next. Yeah, we have the third thing, we want the fourth. Yeah, we're single, we want to get married. We're married, we want a house. We've got a house, we want kids. We got kids, we want better car, better job, more money. It never ends. It's never ending. Never ending. Yeah. But this desire that we have is not for this world. This desire we have matches in Jannah, where it's never ending as well. So whatever you want, I want this, Allah has given 10 hours, you know, take some time out and make time for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where you're going to live forever and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accordingly, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair. MashaAllah for the advice. One of the ways to know if you've learnt what the Ustad has mentioned is to do something called reflecting. MashaAllah, you can still stay here, but inshallah I was going to ask them something. But I'm going to just pick a few brothers, 4 or 5 brothers, just to see what they've learned today. So a brother will just quickly come around, and I'll just mention one thing. And I'm only going to pick 3 or 4 brothers, inshallah. So those brothers who are running away or hiding, please just come. Have you just come now? Okay, inshallah I won't pick on you. So brother, Umar, if you can come, I want to pick you, young man, first. I just don't know why I picked you. Just tell me one thing, and inshallah whoever I select, just tell me one thing that you've just learned today.
I've learned that motivation comes from refraining from sin, and that peace comes from enduring hardship.
MashaAllah. Our brother there. Inshallah. So if I see you not looking, I might pick you as well. So yes.
My first time here, Baba.
So alhamdulillah, don't worry. Inshallah, one thing that you've learned. MashaAllah. So he's mentioned 2 things. So it's just good to kind of, and everything is right. So there's nothing's wrong. Inshallah.
So basically, just refrain from sinning, really.
MashaAllah. Good. That's right. If our Ustad was here, he can always mashallah tell us if we're right or not. Yeah. MashaAllah, they're right. Yeah.
Were you there? So let's see if you were listening.
No, inshallah, we have to ask the seniors, isn't it? Okay. A nice little easy one. Hassan, you mentioned something that you've learned today. Go in the mic.
Refrain from sin, and you have peace, like with hardship.
Okay. That's good. Now I'm going to ask a question to that young man sitting next to the pillar. You, don't turn around, it's you. So he said something about chewing gum. You remember he was talking about chewing gum. What did he mean by that? So tough question. I should have asked one of the older brothers, which I'm going to ask in a minute if he can't answer it. So when he said about chewing gum, when we eat chewing gum, what was he saying? What did he mean? Shall I pass? If you want to pass, say pass.
Pass.
Pass? Okay. Mashallah, we have Brother Saeed. When he's talking about chewing gum, what was example? What did he give? What did he mean by that?
Very nice and tasty at the beginning.
So the chewing gum was very tasty at the beginning. Yeah, we all know that. But what's that to do with?
And you want to spit it out in.
Okay, so in relation to sin, what did he mean by that chewing gum example? We all know chewing gum's nice, you know, tutti frutti and
a temporary taste and pleasure, but then it's not so nice.
okay, mashallah, did everyone understand that? So pleasure at the beginning is nice. It's like you know, people want to give zakat at the beginning. It's no, sorry, that's another example, but it's like having a girlfriend. Yeah, you think, whoa, she's really nice. So for a long time you think, yeah, it's nice, but then actually you realize it's bitter. The reality is it's not really good at all. Okay, one more, inshallah, then we're going to wrap it up. When anyone want to put their hand up here who is really desperate or wants to answer? Do you have a teacher's pet in here that really wants to answer? Is it over there? Mashallah, we've got a volunteer. So no, everyone, you're spared and you're lucky. You got a brother here.
The Holy Allah said there's pleasure in sin, that's why people go to it. If there wasn't pleasure, or if it didn't, it's like nice food. We eat nice food because it tastes good. We wouldn't eat the food that doesn't taste good. So, because there's pleasure in sin, that's why people do it.
MashaAllah. Okay, so I'm just going to inshallah finish there. We should really do this after every majlis. We should sometimes sit, or when we're driving home in our car, rather than just talking about football here and there, we should reflect on what we've learnt. This helps us to refresh, inshallah. So when we come next week, we've not forgotten totally. So maybe next week, if I'm going to be doing the introduction, I might actually ask you, what did you learn today? So don't forget, inshallah. So those who haven't picked today, if you're here, if I see you, I might even pick you, okay? So don't forget, inshallah. Well, inshallah, intentions, yeah, you're here for the pleasure of Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah, now we're going to begin the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if everyone would like to stand up and just get some blood flowing into your legs. Now while you are standing up, the Ustad will inshallah be sitting at the front. The lights are going to be turned off. This is to really help us concentrate. This is to help us concentrate.
So if you close your eyes now, inshallah, and focus, Allah is with me. Allah says in the Holy Quran, وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ. Allah is with you wherever you are. So Allah is with me. Believe in this. Allah is watching me. So everything I do now, the way I am sat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching me. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hears me. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hear your dhikr now. So do it the best way and the best form you can do, with the mind present. The zikr is only valid when the physical tongue is reciting and the mind is present, not just the zikr of the tongue and the mind is elsewhere. So So think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, think about the attributes. Allah is Rahman, Allah is Rahim, Allah is generous, Allah is forgiving. Think about the hereafter, think about the grave, think if you had died, what would happen to you. Think about heaven, think about Jannah, the pleasures of Jannah, meeting the Prophet ﷺ, seeing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are the thoughts that you should be bringing into your mind during the dhikr. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله حسبي ربي جل الله في قلبي غير الله حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا 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 الله حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا 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 الله 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 لا إله 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 إلا الله حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قل ادعوا الله وادعوا الرحمن أيما تدعوا فله الأسماء الحسنى الله 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 لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين 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 لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين لا إله إلا هو لا إله إلا هو يا هو يا هو يا أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد 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 صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين اللهم ألهمني رشدي وأعذني من شر نفسي Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Allah, Lord of the worlds, Ya Allah, merciful, Ya Allah, the most generous, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, forgive us for our sins, for everything we have committed. Ya Rabbal Alameen, help us from the temptation of sin, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Everywhere we go, there is temptation, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Enable us, Ya Allah, and grant us the strength, Ya Allah, to protect us, Ya Allah. Grant us the strength to stay away from sin, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, we are sinners, Ya Allah, we commit sin day and night, knowingly, unknowingly, Ya Allah, but you are the most merciful Lord, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, forgive us all the sins we have committed in the past, Ya Allah, all the sins we are committing right now, Ya Allah, and all the sins of the future, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, forgive us of all our sins, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, enable us to follow on the footsteps of the awliya Allahs, and especially our teacher, Ya Rabbal Alameen, and especially enable us to follow upon the footsteps of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Enable us to bring the sunnah into our life, outwardly, inwardly, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, all the brothers and sisters who have attended and all the brothers and sisters who have attended online, Ya Allah, grant them the highest place in paradise, Ya Allah, and forgive their sins, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, all the Muslims all over the world are being oppressed, Ya Allah, in Palestine, in Burma, in India, in Pakistan, wherever they are, in Kashmir, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Help them, Ya Allah, guide the oppressors, Ya Allah, and if they're not to be guided, then remove them, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, enable us to learn a lesson from this, Ya Allah, enable us to prepare for our hereafter, enable us to prepare for our grave, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, whatever reward you have given us through this majalis, the azkars that has been recited, Ya Allah, I would like to send this upon the beloved Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, upon the parents of the beloved Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, upon the family of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, upon the companions, upon our mothers, upon all the mu'mineen, mu'minat, muslimeen, muslimat, until the day of judgment, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, grant us safety from the punishment of the hellfire, and grant us the safety from the punishment of the grave, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Grant all of us, Ya Allah, grant us an entry into paradise, Ya Allah, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ameen bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.
I know I'm waiting for something to happen to me. But this waiting comes with trials and challenges.